In this lesson, I'll talk about what happens after an attack. I'm going to discuss the options that you have and understand that not all attacks have a good outcome. Actually, most attacks don't have a good outcome, no matter what kind of attack it is. If it's a malware attack, denial of service attack, ransomware attack. But during any of the attack and after the attack, we need to communicate. Can't stress this enough, and I've said it in the previous two videos, but we need to communicate during an attack, and especially after an attack. While everything is fresh in your mind, we need to conduct a meeting with all the people that were involved in the process of mitigating that attack. Remember, the goal is mitigation during an attack, stopping the attack and recovering so business can continue. Conducting a meeting does, right after the fact, does a few things. So number one, it helps you fill in the holes where everyone's has different opinions about what happened during the attack, and also it allows you to create action items and protect your network better or protect your systems better in the future so that you can brainstorm how to effectively mitigate the attacks in the future. Documentation. So you need to collect your documentation, you need to organize it into a timeline, fill in the holes left by other people, and report the lessons learned as well. The lessons learned are important for especially senior management to understand exactly what happened. And a timeline is best, and people within that timeline are good to document so that you know who did what and when and how the problem was solved. So in case this ever happens again, you have a roadmap of how you solved it. The lessons learned document should include what happened, what was successful, what wasn't successful, how we should plan for the attack in the future, or what we should patch in the future as well, and additionally all the security controls that need to be put in place. Finally, after the attack, you need to do the work. After you have the meeting and after you write the lessons learned, then we need to go back and actually do what we said we were going to do to help fix the problem. It's all too easy to forget if we continue on down the road what problems that we have and how to stop them. During the attack, it's very easy saying, oh, if I had only done this or if I only had done that. We're going to look at the lessons learned and say, oh, here's exactly what we need to do. It's harder to continuously fix problems if we don't do it right at the beginning. If the attack caused damage, you need to fix them. If the attack identified new threats, we need to address that threat. If the attack identified new vulnerabilities, we need to patch those vulnerabilities. And if the attack happened, period, we need to assess risk. That is one of the other key points after the attack of assessing, well, how is our security posture? Where are the risks that we have? This attack bit us this time. What is going to happen the next time? Is it going to be worse or is it going to be better because of the things that we put in place to mitigate the attack? So let's go back to our case study, the Locky ransomware. So the first thing that we did after the attack, and well, really essentially during the attack, after we put the server into read-only mode, we found the offending computer, we started to identify all the encrypted files, we started documenting everything. The documentation helped us identify what exactly happened and what files were encrypted so that we can start restoring services. So that's step 2, restore. Restoring what you had, usually from backup, is going to be the best option. Restoration also includes communicating to those that use the service. If it's your network, for example, you may send out an email, and then everybody realizes, hey, I have an email now. and network might be back up. Step 3 is to educate. Educate your internal departments, educate the community, saying what happened. If you tell, and this is the 4th step, communication again, if you tell people here is exactly what happened, you are going to be much better off right away than if you wait 6 months and tell people then. Think about the largest data breaches that have happened in the past year, or 2 years, 3 years. We have Target, we have Home Depot, we have Blue Cross Blue Shield. You name the company, they've had attacks here and there. So being able to tell people, hey, we had this problem, here's how we fixed it, and here's how we're going to make our systems better, goes a long way than waiting 6 months down the road saying, well, your data may have been compromised about 6 months ago and we didn't tell you. So what happens with a lot of these data breaches? It goes much better on the company if you communicate right up front. So that's what we also did, and we let people know that, hey, we had this virus that affected one person because somebody clicked on a phishing message, and that had impact on their computer because a file was downloaded. It installed ransomware, which then started encrypting files on the server, and we were able to put all the files back up because we had backups. So understanding or helping the community understand that, hey, we've recovered your data within a matter of a couple hours, goes a long way. So from start to finish, the attack, the ransomware attack, which could have been a lot worse, even though it encrypted 84,000 files on the server, from the initial click and install of the ransomware to the time that the service was completely back up was around 90 minutes, which is actually unheard of, and we were extremely lucky in this case. We've had other attacks before, like a denial of service attack, which has actually taken down the campus for days. So not all attacks are going to have a good outcome. Attacks happen all the time, like I mentioned before in some other lessons. We need to prepare for everything to make sure that we can handle the attack.